Hello, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all of that other good stuff to all of you out there. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. Today's deck is going to be a Christmas themed deck because we are playing Iroh, Team Master, and we are going to be giving wonderful presents to our opponents, and you know that they're all going to enjoy our gifts. Before I talk a little bit about this deck, if you can continue to help the channel grow as usual, sub up if you haven't done so already, like the video, and more importantly, leave a comment down below. Let me know how your holidays are going, if you got any wonderful Magic the Gathering presents as well. So what is going on with this deck? We are using Iroh, Team Master. Iroh says when Iroh enters, create a food token. Fantastic. Then, at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have target opponent gain control of target permanent you control. When you do, create a 1/1 white ally creature token, put a +1/+1 counter on that token for each permanent that you own that your opponents control. So the first one that we create is going to be a 1/1 with 1+1/+1 counter, so 2/2, and then it gets progressively bigger as we gift more stuff. But that's not really the most important thing. The most important thing about Iroh is what we are gifting. And the main thing that we are gifting is, of course, Demonic Pact. Now, Demonic Pact is an older enchantment. Some of you will be very familiar with it. Some of you maybe have never seen this before. 4 CMC enchantment, it comes down and it does nothing. Then, at the beginning of your upkeep, so we have to wait one whole turn, we get to choose one of these 4 options that haven't been chosen before. The first one, this enchantment deals 4 damage to any target and we gain 4 life. Target opponent discards 2 cards, we draw 2 cards, and the last one, you lose the game. So the idea here, I'm sure you can see it, is that we want to use those first 3 modes, and then before that last one is the last option to choose, we send the Demonic Pact over to our opponent, and, well, they have to pick something. They choose to lose the game. We're also playing another powerful enchantment that is a little bit newer, Greed's Gambit, 4 CMC. I think this is newer. I have not familiar with this card outside of this printing of it, so do let me know if this is an older card. This one, when it enters, you draw 3 cards, you gain 6 life, and you create 3 2/1 bat creature tokens. That's pretty great. However, of course, all of these enchantments have a wonderful downside. At the beginning of your end step, you have to discard a card, lose 2 life, and sacrifice a creature. And when this enchantment leaves the battlefield, you discard 3 cards, lose 6 life, and sacrifice 3 creatures. So the idea here is that we want to gain all the benefit from the Greed's Gambit. We want to send it over to our opponent, and then they have to deal with that downside. And if they try to bounce it, then it's really going to damage them. We are also playing Beseech the Mirror, 4 copies of this one, so we are able to go and get any of these cards in our deck. All we have to do is pay 4 mana, and if we want to bargain with this one, meaning we sacrifice an enchantment, an artifact, or a token, we can put that card directly onto the field, or we can play the card rather. So that's the whole idea behind the deck. We are also playing a bunch of ways to stay alive. We have our Lightning Helix, No Way to Run, Grim Bauble. These things are going to help us stave off our opponent's attackers. Day of Judgment if things get really out of control. Aang's Iceberg if there is a few things that are a little bit too big. We have to get rid of, something like a Ouroboride that has triggered a few times. It's going to be a little bit difficult to get off the field, so we do have Aang's Iceberg as well. We do also have a couple of backup plans in the deck to help us donate some things. We have the Mogul Merchant. I'm not going to try to say this thing's first name. This is a 1/2 that has the ability to give a permanent to our opponent for 2 mana, and we tap it. I'm not sold on the Mogul Merchant because I've actually never been able to really use it to send something over to our opponent. Most of the time this is just eating some removal, which is maybe a good thing because if they're using the removal on the Merchant, they're not using the removal on our poor Team Master. And then we also have 1 copy of Harmless Offering. Now it is only just 1 copy, but remember, because we have Beseech the Mirror in the deck, we kind of have 5 copies of Harmless Offering in the deck if you want to look at it that way. 2 more cards to talk about. Zuko, Conflicted. This card, I am also conflicted on this one. This card has not performed very well for me in this deck. It does a lot of stuff. Most importantly, we want to be drawing cards with it, maybe ramping a little bit with it, and then it can just kind of stave off a little bit of the opponent's aggression. It does also go over to our opponent's control, and then they have to deal with all of this stuff, but this is one of the cards that I think can definitely be cut from the deck. However, it is a little bit thematic because it's kind of neat to see Zuko and Iroh being played in the same deck. And then the last card that I have personally put into this deck is Ghost Vacuum because I cannot seem to get away from Kavaro. I don't know what to do about Kavaro, so I just put in a couple Ghost Vacuums and we'll see how that works out. So that is the deck. We're going to try it out on the ladder. We're going to hope that we can pull off the Demonic Pact kills. If not, maybe Greed's Gambit. We'll have to settle for that kind of stuff. Let's hop into some games. Okie dokie, game number 1, trying to make Uncle Iroh work, donate some stuff for Christmas. How wonderful. Okay, opening hand, a little bit sketch, but we do have okay mana. I will say, one thing I did not mention in the intro that I probably should have mentioned, the mana base is a little bit sketchy in Mardu for some reason, and I often find myself in positions where I just can't get all of my colors going properly, often because of the verges not being able to turn on because I don't have a basic. That seems to be the main situation that's happening. Okay, we are probably against a Kona deck right off the bat, and that's going to be bad news. Hey, Legion Extruder, great card to see. It's not going to be able to take out our Zuko, and we miss on our land, so I think we have to lose 2 life, draw a card. We find the land. Okay. From here, not a whole lot we can do. Next turn, we can Beseech the Mirror. And we can Beseech the Mirror. We probably want to bargain something. So I'm going to play out the other Ghost Vacuum just to have it on the field as fodder for the Beseech the Mirror. I don't think that card's going to necessarily be very good in this matchup. Yeah. And now they have the Simulacrum Synthesizer. So it's not a Kona deck. Immediately I assumed that it was, but it's not. Okay, from here, we don't need the extra mana because we did draw our land. So we may as well just put that on to Zuko and keep taking damage from our boy here. Now, if I Beseech the Mirror to go get Iroh, Iroh could be pretty good for donating some of these useless things to our opponent. But if I go and get the Demonic Pact, that's going to be a lot more fun. I do have a Day of Judgment, so I think the Day of Judgment could wipe out a whole bunch of the opponent's synthesizers once they start getting them going. And that might be able to hold me off a little bit. We kind of need like 3 turns. So next turn it's going to trigger with the Demonic Pact, and then we'll pass back to the opponent. We need 3 turns. We need, we need 3 turns. We can do the 3rd thing on our turn, pass it back to the opponent, then they have to do it on that upkeep. So it's not 4 total turns, I guess. You get what I'm saying, right? We might end up just putting out this Greed's Gambit anyways to... I could just smoke this right now, and that's actually not a bad idea. Let's get rid of this enchantment before it gets a little bit too big for us. That's one less thing that we have to deal with. We will, of course, add mana this time around, which is not going to do anything, but why not do it? And we will Greed's Gambit. Let's see what we draw into. We do have 2 mana open. 1 mana open, rather. Hey, and we get the backup Harmless Offering. So next turn, we can actually get them. Right? No, not next turn. It's going to be 2 turns. Okay, so we will get rid of the Nowhere to Run. Yeah, Nowhere to Run, because it's not going to be doing anything against these horrible enchantments. And the opponent's actually down to the opponent's down to 12. I didn't realize that Zuko had been smashing face so much. But they are going to make double synthesizers this time around. We will have to send Zuko over to their side of the field this turn. So I think probably what's going to happen is board wipe. And then on the following turn, it's going to be the Harmless Offering. Yeah, that's what we're doing. All right, so it's pretty cool. We can see it. Do you think that deck plays Counter Magic? Because what you could do is throw the Demonic Pact over to their side a little bit early. We don't really care about... Oh, we find the Iroh. The Iroh's huge. Okay. Zuko doing so much damage. But we only have 6 mana. So I cannot wipe the board and Iroh. And I need to... Yeah, we need to stick to the regular plan. It's a little bit boring, but as long as they don't have Fire Crystal, we'll be okay. If they have the Repurposing Bay into Fire Crystal, we die. That's just the situation when you're playing against... I'm just going to do this just to pass priority. There we go. One of the bad things about playing against artifacts decks, right? We could die at any moment. So hopefully no Foundry Repurposing Bay, that's what it's called. And then they make a whole bunch of constructs with this thing. Spells you control can't be countered at the beginning of your end step. Discover 5. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Everything here is irrelevant. We're going to get the game 1 Demonic Pact kill. How wonderful to start things off. I wish I were speaking better. I think for some reason I'm tongue-tied this morning. They make so many scary constructs, but we get rid of their last 2 cards. They had all of their things there. We're going to do the Uncle Iroh way, right? When you have the chance, you Uncle Iroh over the Demonic Pact, and you don't attack. You say Merry Christmas to your opponent. I could have given them the Greed's Gambit as well, I suppose. And here we go. Opponent, what do you choose? What do you choose? Good game, opponent. Good game. My favorite thing about playing this deck is always opponents get the card and then it triggers and then they kind of like delay, read over the card. What's happening here? What do I have to choose? Oh, lose the game. Cool. Next one. Game number 2. Hopefully that goes a little bit the same way, right? And crazy to see Zuko actually doing some good stuff. Okay, mana looks fine, and that's kind of what I've learned about this deck is if your mana base is good, just kind of hope you can go that way. We're going to keep the Greed's Gambit on the top of the deck and hope that we can make it to turn 3, Iceberg something, and then from there we can decide to go Greed's Gambit into maybe Beseech the Mirror. We'll see. Or Beseech the Mirror, grab an Iroh. They are probably playing spot removal. Iroh, unfortunately, kind of folds to every red spot removal that's in the format. So we, okay, we are drawing a ton of lands. Gleaming Gear Drake. When this creature enters, investigate. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So I might be incentivized to hit that with the Aang's Iceberg. I don't know if I want to leave that thing on the field. Okay, a Cryogen Relic from the opponent. They are doing something pretty interesting. I don't really know how to respond to what the opponent's doing over here because this makeup is just weird to me. I'm gonna do this now. Just do I even eat the Gear Drake? Maybe I just eat this thing. That's fine. We'll get this off the field. One less thing for us to worry about, and we get a Zuko Conflicted. So I'm conflicted. Now, I don't know what we do here, if we do Greed's Gambit or if we do the Beseech the Mirror. I kind of feel like it's Greed's Gambit. Sure, we're going to lose some of the value that we get out of this, but then it's going to be the safer thing to do for the following turn. Now we have a lot of lands to discard. It's fine. We kill one of the bats. Who cares? And Beseech the Mirror can go... Are they going to get rid of the Greed's Gambit? Oh, it would be really bad if they bounced it. If we go up against into the Flood Maw deck, Greed's Gambit's a really bad play because they just keep bouncing the Greed's Gambit. I haven't run into that situation yet, but it's it's going to feel real bad if I do. Torch the Tower, perfectly fine. So they murder one of our poor bats. Who cares? So much better that they're using Torch the Tower on a bat than on an Uncle Iroh. Which makes me wonder if I should maybe use the Beseech the Mirror to go get the Harmless Offering and send the Greed's Gambit over to their side of the field with that instead. Because Uncle Iroh just might be a little bit too vulnerable. Still have really no idea what's going on over here. They're definitely playing some artifact sacrifice type deck. They're probably playing munitions right? That's what it's called. It's been such a long time since I've seen that artifact. Maybe they're also playing that red golem making thing that we saw in the last game from the opponent. Okay, so they are leaving 1 mana open potentially here. That could be another Torch the Tower. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, because they tapped out, now we 100% go with the Uncle Iroh plan. And we send the Greed's Gambit over to their side of the field, and then they're gonna have to deal with it. Now, Torch the Tower. They can sacrifice the Torch the Tower. Something to consider. We are going to bargain. Unfortunately, we do have to sacrifice the Aang's Iceberg to do this. It comes in, they get another clue, but this Gleaming Gear Drake is going to be vulnerable. We can get rid of it one way or another, but Unky Iroh back on the field, my boy. Get over here. And Uncle Iroh makes a food. We send the Greed's Gambit over to our opponent on combat, and now they're going to have to figure out a way of dealing with this thing. Make it 2/2. And we do have a pretty good follow-up next turn with the Greed's Gambit, I suppose. Cool. We got to use our emotes appropriately, right? Uncle Iroh sipping on his tea, enjoying. Oh, he's going to go rest now. Poor Unky Iroh. We are going to probably take a little bit of damage here. I have to assume that they're going to start cracking some of these artifacts that they have. They must be playing the Viper, Rotten Mouth Viper. They're putting a whole bunch of artifacts on the field. I have to assume that they're probably going to use that Viper to wipe out all of these artifacts, make the Gleaming Drake very big. That seems to be what their plan possibly is, but this is definitely a pretty cool like rogue deck. I don't really know what their overall game plan is going to be. There's the Legion Extruder, the card I had talked about before. So we do take 2 damage here, but at the end of the turn, the Gleaming Gear Drake is going to be sacrificed to the Death's Gambit. They're going to go down to 1 card. We get to put out maybe a Greed's Gambit again. We're going to have 6 mana. 7 mana is where we want to be, because if we can Greed's Gambit into an Uncle Iroh, then we can donate a second Greed's Gambit. Instead, we just hit that. It's so, you know what? We're here to play, right? We're going to put out the Demonic Pact. The Demonic Pact can so backfire on us right now, but we are going to throw it onto the field. We're also going to throw out Zuko, because Zuko will give us 3 cards next turn, 3 additional cards. So probably within those 4 cards that we draw naturally, we can probably find a way to get rid of this Demonic Pact. We can also draw another 3 cards with this Greed's Gambit. Don't we all love drawing cards? Ooh, they found a Restless Reef, which is good. It's going to be a little bit of a clock at some point. Although, I guess it's still a creature at the end of turn, so if they do turn it on with the Greed's Gambit on their side of the field, they will have to sacrifice it, right? Oh, I feel so bad. This is what Standard should be like. One player playing a Demonic Pact gift deck, and another player playing Phoenix Fleet Airshipped Legion Extruder. Why can't Standard be like this all the time? Wouldn't everybody be so incredibly happy all the time if these were your matchups? I want to live in that world. Okay, the opponent is desperately digging for some kind of help to deal with what I have going after them. They're going to get hit. Okay, we're definitely drawing cards. We're definitely drawing all the cards. We find our... Okay, they can see what's happening here, and they scoop it up. A little bit of a shame that we couldn't see this one kind of get carried out, but hey, it was working. I can't believe it's actually working, though. I'll tell you, when I was getting ready to make this video, I was definitely a little apprehensive about what was going on here, and oh man. See, here's the problem with our land base that I had mentioned in the first game, where you get a hand like this. This hand is so good, but it's also potentially so trash. We do have a lot of lands. This deck is playing 27 lands. So we are going to take the risk. We're going to try it out. Restless Ridgeline over there. Are they playing a dinosaur deck? Wouldn't that be cool? No, landfall. So we need to hit land. That's non-negotiable. Okay. That's good. That's also good. I did put out the wrong land. I should have been using more of my brain and put out this Verge instead of the Rakdos Verge, knowing that I had the Mogul. I think I had this in hand, right? But you absolutely need to find something that has a land type on it when you're playing this deck. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. I can't click out of this. Let's eat their shared roots. Why not? They are up to 4 mana ahead of us. So from here, I guess I don't really hate just throwing out Iroh. And I'm going to hope that they don't have removal. They're playing, you know, Shaz's Chocobo. I don't really imagine they're going to have spot removal for me. And maybe it's a little bit foolish to put out the Iroh knowing that I'm going to probably want a Day of Judgment at some point, but I really don't know what this means. This mana base with Shaz's Chocobo is really confusing me. We might need to find an Aang's Iceberg, actually, is more so the case. Okay, so maybe it's a weird Lessons type deck. So we're in a position where we can just Day of Judgment if we find a white source. I guess that's true. We don't have the white source. At least I can keep them off their lessons with this Ghost Vacuum that's doing some work for us. Hey, look who showed up. Unky. Okay. Demonic Pact. We're going to take some damage. We're going to take a big old hit from this little baby Chocobo. But hopefully that this Demonic Pact drawing 3 cards next turn will help me find a white source. Then I can at very least wipe the board. I think it's actually going to be a non-negotiable. I'm going to have to wipe the board. And hope that they don't have Quench. Boomerang basic. Okay, be greedy. Just keep... Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Opponent, you're so good at this game. Putting out the boomerang... Oh. Boomerang basics. Putting out another one. Do you think their last card... No, their last card is not a Quench. Okay, so we get to wipe the board. We get to also take 8 damage here. But we do get rid of this. And they're going to be left with 1 card. We're going to be left with 10 life. Oh, I'm assuming I'm drawing. By the way, I am talking like I'm drawing a white source. Oh, see, every time. Easiest game of my life. What a gamer. God gamer. Okay. Wipe that up. We have the Grim Bauble. There's no reason to put that onto the field right now. We might need it for a future Otter to murder. But there are definitely times when I just throw out the Grim Bauble just to have something to donate to the opponent if they're playing like a control deck. They don't have anything that's going to have like 2 toughness. Okay. I mean, opponent, what is going on? What is happening this morning? Why is everybody playing such... I know, because I dropped a little bit lower. I've been playing, let's just say, questionable decks. Let's get rid of that last card in hand. Oh, and they scoop it up. I wonder, why didn't you show me what that last deck card was? Yeah, the rank has been dropping because I've been playing some weird stuff. I've been trying to make Angels work. Do you know how bad Angels are? 90% is what they are. To build off of what I was kind of saying in that last game, the Uncle Iroh donation deck usually doesn't work this way. And it's definitely a weaker deck. If you're playing against Lessons decks all the time, if you're playing against your Badger Mole Cubs running you down, you're going to have a bad time. Yeah. So if you can find a good meta where you're up against lesser powerful stuff, then yeah, no problem. Oh, do we want to keep that? I think I'm going to get rid of the theater. I need to find another white source. So we do have a lot of black source requirements, of course. The Beseech the Mirror is 3. We're going to get rid of that. Is 3 black pips. Then the Demonic Pact is obviously 2 here. And then we are also playing... Yeah, we can do that. We are also playing the Day of Judgment, which is 2 white pips. So I do need to find another white source just in case I want to wipe the board at some point. Okay, so the opponent does have open blue mana. I think I'm okay throwing the Greed's Gambit into a potential counterspell here, but nothing happens. We gotta discard some stuff here. So let's get rid of the Nowhere to Run. Sure. and one of these poor bats lose a little bit of life. And next turn, we can probably send it over with the Iroh. I feel like they don't have a whole lot. So Unky's going to come down. Quantum Riddler. Okay. Splash Portal, Quantum Riddler. Pretty good. We do have choices now. But I think just leaving a Quantum Riddler on the field, honestly, not... Like, I don't care. Uncle's fine. Yeah, let's put out the Ghost Vacuum. And we are going to do what we came here to do. Wow, we are able... I can't believe it. I genuinely feel like this is Christmas morning to me because it's just working out for me. I'm getting the donation off. It's so I'm so happy. I'm not getting run over by turn 1 Llanowar Elf into turn 2 Badger Mole Cub into turn 2 Badger Mole Cub on top of that, and then the most insane stuff that I've been seeing on the ladder. Just cool decks. Aang at the Crossroads good. They get to bounce something. What do they bounce? Quantum Riddler and the Aang. Okay, Appa's dead. Poor Appa. And now we get to swing in for 8 damage. Opponent, did you... I don't think that was part of the opponent's plan. Let's send over a little bit of tea. Help them soothe their wounds. And from here, I think I would be wrong to not put out a Demonic Pact. I could have just held up the Aang's Iceberg to hit maybe this Aang. Put Aang back in the put Aang back in the box. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Does this give them... Oh no, I should have kept open. I was foolish. I didn't... Okay. I don't know if this has a fizzle rate. They don't have the Appa. They need to hit another one off of this Aang. Oh no. So now do they go infinite? Because they can bounce these two things. They draw 2 cards. They can... Oh, opponent! Opponent! No! No, 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 no! 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 Oh, opponent! I'm so sorry! Somebody did it! Someone bounced! Thank you, iPhone Peter. You just made my whole day. Thank you so much for bouncing the Green's Gambit. Where does this video go from there? That was the highlight. I peaked. That's the best thing that this deck can possibly do, is an opponent murdering themselves when they had an infinite loop and had no reason to do what they did there. It's done. So thanks for watching the video. If you want to stick around and watch the next 3, we're gonna of course play 3 more, but that's... Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful, isn't it? Okay, opponent accumulating some wisdom over there. We need to find our Ghost Vacuum. Ghost Vacuum's actually been working out pretty well for me. Ooh, beautiful. I'm very happy that I finally put it into the deck. Ooh, okay, what is going on this morning? Lessons decks with Lumbering Worldwagon. Heck yeah, opponent. If I do this, I can put out a Greed's Gambit, and I think that is the greedy thing to do, and I'm gonna do it. Okay, draw some cards. We don't find Unk, that's too bad, but we do have this Beseech the Mirror. Let's throw away this Surveil land, we don't need it, and we'll keep Zuko around to draw another card. Next turn, 4 mana. We can sacrifice one of these bats to find an Unk. Although I might just want to Aang's Iceberg away something. I don't really want to get hit for 7, so I am going to block with one of these bats. They're not really the... We're not attacking in this game. Let's draw a card. And another theater. So we're in a weird spot here. I really want to get this Greed's Gambit over the opponent, and I think that's probably all I have to do. So it's going to be Uncle Iroh. And unfortunately, the way Uncle Iroh works, he's at the start of combat, so you have to sacrifice the bat before combat to get him on the field. Sure. Make your tea and send the Gambit over. Hopefully, they're going to have a hard time dealing with the Greed's Gambit. We can block, you know, the Lumbering World Wagon or the Overlord of the Hauntwood with one of these creatures. I wouldn't want to put Iroh in front of it, but yeah, okay, there's Ugin. So we're going to have to Aang's Iceberg away the Ugin, which is fine. I usually when an Ugin hits the field, you're kind of like, oh, well, I guess it's GG, but it's okay. Yep. Preserve our life total ever so slightly, and now they have to sacrifice one of these creatures. They do have a ton of mana, though, and we don't have a whole lot on the field, so we're going to have to find... I don't know. Hey, that's not bad. Okay. So we're sticking to the plan of getting rid of Ugin. And from here, we don't have... I'm going to use the Scry land to see if I can fix the top of my deck. Definitely don't want to see more lands. So we'll hit them for 3 more here. Next turn, we're going to be sending Zuko over to their side of the field. So Zuko is going to be maybe doing a little bit of damage to them. Oh, they're bouncing things. Don't bounce. Everybody loves bouncing the Greed's Gambit. Everybody loves bouncing the Greed's Gambit. It's I guess, hey, you're not familiar with what Greed's Gambit does, and okay, maybe we're still peaking. Is this the greatest video I've ever made? I'm having so much fun. We're beating Ugins out here to their own hubris of bouncing things with their Meringue River region. Turns out Greed's Gambit, it is worth the mythic craft. Oh my goodness, it really is an Uncle Iroh Christmas. This happy fella bringing me infinite joy this morning. We're going to try it. We don't have a red source for this Lightning Helix, but we do have our... Ooh, okay. Here's where the fun stops. Here's where we get hit by the turn 2 Badger Mold Cub on the play. All right. We had to be put in our place. And... I flew ever so slightly too close to the sun. We do get a good nowhere to run here, so I get to murder one of these cubs, but they're still on 6 mana on turn 3. Very fair. Llanowar, hey, maybe they don't have a payoff for it. Oh! Okay. We drew badly, though. So what do I need to find? I need to find an untapped source. Untapped source... Why? 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 Why would you throw away? You have 2, 4, 6, 8 mana on turn 4, and you toss in the towel. Why would they do that? So imagine, though, next turn we do find the untapped source. I can Beseech the Mirror, sacrifice probably the Nowhere to Run, and then go get the board wipe. But that was a lot of ifs. Our final game. Hopefully we don't get like another weird one like the last game. That was unusual. Why the opponent would just say no more, who knows. Okay, we got our lands. We are playing 1 Cavern of Souls, maybe a little bit unusual to see. The original deck was playing 2, and I cut it down to 1 because I found it to be a little bit awkward at times. Ooh. Tiny Bones joins up. Does that mean I'm getting rid of the... Let's get rid of the Lightning Helix, I think. So yeah, the original deck was playing 2 Cavern of Souls. It was getting in the way of some of the mana sources, but it's in here so we can get an Uncle Iroh onto the field during through a control matchup. Ooh. Scary. Yep, fine. We have met our match with the discard. I'm going to hold on to this. And actually, our mana sucks because we have this 1 mountain. There's only 1 mountain in the deck and the 1 Cavern of Souls. Because we've drawn them, we don't actually have... Oh, don't take the Demonic Pact. Don't take the Demonic Pact. Please don't take it. Oh. Okay, we need a black source. Okay, we find the black source. Oh, no. Okay, we're in trouble. We're actually in trouble. Against the discard. The discard deck is actually tearing me apart. I should have put out the Ghost Vacuum thinking... I wasn't thinking I need the Ghost Vacuum on the field to be able to beseech the mirror. I don't even know what I would go and grab at this point. Okay, that's fine. I'd rather them blow up my land rather than make me discard something. They're going to have 2 mana. Ghost Vacuum, don't care. Okay. So, now we're in a position where we have to gamble. Do I beseech the mirror to go get Uncle Iroh? Or do I guess I could have tapped that first. Or do I get the Demonic Pact or the Greed's Gambit and just hope to draw into the Unky Iroh? If I grab the Greed's Gambit, that's going to give me a lot more cards. Demonic Pact is more fun. Greed's Gambit. We go with our greed. Greed. Come on. Give me something nice. Actually, don't give me the nice thing. I want the nice thing to be the card that's here on top right now, because the opponent very much could have some discard for us. And if they rip apart our hand before we can get that card onto the field, we'd be a real sad boy. Cruel Claws. Okay, so yeah, see, I didn't want to draw the good card. They can take the Nowhere to Run. It's useless to me. I don't care about it. Use your Ghost Vacuum, pass the turn. Come on, opponent. You're down to 2 cards. Okay, we need money. Money. Okay, it's not the worst. Oh, I played that wrong. Yeah. So I should have put out my land because it tapped my red source. I should have just played all of this stuff out. Now I'm kind of like, I could have just not discarded a card there. I could have just played everything, is what I'm saying. Okay, Demonic Pact needs to be... You have a Demonic Pact and a Greed's Gambit on the field. How could it possibly go wrong for you? But I think if we get the Demonic Pact over to our opponent's side, they're going to have a really bad time getting rid of it. Okay, we get to draw 3 cards here. Uncle Iroh, Harmless Offering, Beseech is all going to be good because we still have 1 bat to sacrifice. Give me them cards. Give me them. That's Zuko. That's not... No, those are all really bad cards. Okay. Well, we get in for 2. Now we're going to lose our bat here. So we're going to have to sacrifice... I guess we got to sacrifice... Oh, no. We're actually in a weird spot now. Maybe I should have kept the bat around instead of the Zuko. Well, didn't matter. Irrelevant. Okay. Now we're praying for an Uncle Iroh. That's all we can do. Come on, Unk. Don't disappoint me. How many cards do they have? They have 4 cards. Okay, discard some stuff. We have 2 draws. It's fine. No. No, not like this. Not like this. Okay, we have 1 draw. It has to be a god draw. Uncle Iroh Christmas. Never disappoint me, Unky. Okay, Tenacious. It's fine. Okay, let's blast it. Okay. Here it is. Greed's Gambit. I need a land and Uncle Iroh. Oh, boys, it's over. It's over. It's over. Uncle Iroh betrayed me. I guess it's only appropriate that this game ends this way. We die to our own hubris. Flying too close to the sun. You know what? The top card's gonna... Do I get a draw at the beginning of it? I don't even get to see another draw. Oh, alright. GG. Opponent, they wipe us out one more time, and it's unfortunate that all of our... We found 1 Beseech the Mirror. In the top 25 cards, only 1 Beseech the Mirror, 0 Iroh. We didn't find the 1 Harmless Offering. That's a real shame. Alright. GG. Send some love over to the opponent. I don't know why they're doing this. They're looking through my deck, I suppose, having fun. Take notes, opponent. This deck is very fun. You should definitely try it out, even though once in a while you're going to sign the wrong deal with the wrong demon, and you're going to get murdered. I'm not even sure what they took. Okay. GG, opponent. A little bit of love. Merry Christmas to all of you out there. You wonderful man, you. All right, so I don't think I could have planned or written up or expected a more perfect set of 7 games. We got to see this deck do everything. We got to see the typical opponent has to lose the game. We saw the opponents dying to the Greed's Gambit, bouncing the Greed's Gambit. We saw ourselves dying to our own Demonic Pact. This video really did go absolutely perfectly, and I cannot thank you enough, Uncle Iroh. I'm very happy. Now, a little bit of a warning for this deck, and as I mentioned at points throughout this video, probably shouldn't craft this deck. Let your YouTubers and your streamers and whoever else waste all of their wild cards on this nonsense. You should not be using 4, 7, 10 mythic wildcards on Greed's Gambit, Demonic Pact, and Beseech the Mirror. There is no world in which these cards are worth crafting, but they are awfully fun. I suppose if you are that kind of gamer, you could maybe justify it, but I would very much warn against crafting this deck. It is very fun. Yes, it performed quite well in this set of 7 games, but some of the opponents that I went up against, they were playing rogue decks, they were playing lesser tuned decks. So if you're trying to be competitive on the ladder, this is not where it is. If you're just trying to have fun, this is where it is. In fact, you can have a lot of fun with it. Everything in the deck feels good. I think still the Merchant is going to get cut from the deck. I don't think it's worth the 1 slot in here. Maybe even going up another Harmless Offering kind of feels a little bit better to me. We'll see. I think this is a deck I might play around with a little bit more since I did spend so many wild cards on it. If I end up finding a new configuration for it, maybe there'll be a follow-up video. But anyways, that's it for this one. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I hope you had an Iroh Christmas. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your holidays. Let me know how things are going. Merry Christmas again. Bye-bye for now. See you in the next one. Sarang e ipana. And that's it.